Welcome back, it's Jerry with the Happy Hootie, and it is fall. Fall is one of my favorite seasons, but unfortunately it does come with a little bit of property maintenance. We've got a large property, and on our property, to kind of fill in some of those areas, we use this lovely stuff here, Pampas grass or decorative grass, and every year you need to cut this down, usually in the late fall, before it gets to where it's going to snow on it, which is then going to make the thing collapse upon itself. It makes it a lot harder to clean up. You do need to go ahead and cut this back, because if you don't, when it collapses upon itself, it can create dead areas inside the pampas grass, which then when it tries to grow out next year, it can grow through the dead. It won't look as pretty. So to get that cut, there's a wonderful hack we like to use here, and I'm going to show you how to do it. To get started, I'd highly recommend getting a long sleeve shirt or work shirt, because this stuff can get kind of itchy and you're going to be getting up and personal with it. If you have two people, that makes this even easier, because you guys can each hold on to one end of this and help wrap this around. I'm going to be doing it by myself, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that so you can do it on your own. But one of the easiest ways to do this, I find, is to go ahead and get the end of some twine. And why we use twine is because it's cheap and because you can burn it and get rid of it. So you can use ratchet straps. I've used those work great. You can use bungee cords. I've used those work great too. But in the end of the day, when you go to take these off, you're not going to want to be burning those or throwing those away, because they're too expensive. So stick with some twine, it's cheap. You're going to get up underneath some of this that's fallen over. If you're doing this on your own and just taking it into this, just tie it on to a piece of this grass so that it can hang on. And then we're going to go ahead and hold on to the loose end, and working our way around, just lift it up. Keep pulling it, working your way around. And as you get around this thing, you'll see that it starts to stand itself up. And just keep pulling it tighter and tighter as you go, lifting it all up. Working your way around it like that. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this off, and then we're going to wrap one more around. Now that we've got it wrapped around it again, and you pulled that second time, pull it really tight as you're working your way up. That way it bundles it up. It'll still have some poofiness to the top of it. But what we're trying to do is get it tied off where you have access to see the bottom of where this connects into the ground. Because we're only going to be cutting this about an inch or two off the ground and just kind of give it a flat top. What are we going to use to cut that with? I find it easiest to use a chainsaw. I've got my Stihl gas-powered chainsaw. Make sure that you're wearing some kind of protective eyewear. If you're going to be doing this a lot, it'd be a good idea to go and put on some earphones too, but for these few small clumps we're going to be cutting, I'm not too concerned about that. Now we're going to turn this on and again cut it a couple inches. As I cut this across, big thing is try not to let the grass get too close to the back end of this, or it'll start sucking the grass back, which will clog this up. We can unclog it, but if you stay towards the end and push back on it, you shouldn't have any problems. Now that you've got it cut down, you simply grab the bundle that you've already tied and transport it off so you can burn it. Simply find the grass you wish to remove, go underneath, lift it up. This is where the long sleeves come in. So you find the base of it down there. And then we're going to go ahead and grab a handful of this grass in here. We're going to go ahead and tie the end of this to it, wrap it around, tie it off, and cut it. You got it tied off. You're going to just lift up on it, walking backwards. Keep reaching back underneath, lifting up, and keep pulling tight, walking backwards, lifting up, and keep walking your way around, walking backwards, lifting up, and keep pulling tight until you get back where you've got that first little bit. Now that it's pulled tight, simply tie it off and you're ready to cut. If you've got a really big one, I'd recommend putting a second strap, because it is just twine after all. load it in the tractor. That's how you do that. Appreciate you guys taking the time to work with us today. We removed about 5 of those, what I would consider medium to small of those, in about 20 minutes. Didn't take very long. That was me doing it by myself. If you're going to do larger ones where you have a lot more to do, just make sure you give yourself enough time and then take a shower afterwards, which is what I'm going to do. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jerry with the Happy Hoodie, and we'll see you again next time.